All right, everybody, welcome to the video for lesson number 2, parallel versus perpendicular lines. So in today's lesson, we learned that parallel lines have the same slope and perpendicular lines have perpendicular slopes, which are negative reciprocals. So the first question says, determine if the equations below are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So again, as a quick reminder, parallel just means same slope. Perpendicular means negative reciprocals. So if I look at that first one, the first thing I want to do is distribute the 3. So I have y minus 2 equals 3x plus 12. Add the 2, and now I have my equation in y equals mx plus b form. The slope of this equation is 3. If I look at the next one, I get divided by negative 4 every term. So I have y is equal to negative 5, double negative makes a plus, 3x. So the slope of this line is 3. Notice they come out to have the same slope, so I can say that the lines are parallel because they have the same slope. Let's keep going. Number 2 says, write an equation of a line that is parallel to the line y equals 1/2 x plus 8, but passes through that point. So right away, as soon as I see points and slopes, I'm thinking point slope form. So I'll just write that down again here. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. If I then keep going here, I know that the slope that I'm looking for is 1/2, because the slope of the line is 1/2, so the parallel slope is also 1/2. And the point I have, so I could just say y plus 6. It's plus 6 because this is a negative number. The slope is 1/2, and then plus 1. Now, if it just says to write an equation of a line, this is done. You actually don't have to do anything else if you don't want to. Next one says to write an equation of a line passes through the point, but is perpendicular. So to do perpendicular, we definitely need to know slope. So first thing I want to do here is subtract 4x. So I have 2y is equal to negative 4x plus 10. Divide everything by 2. So I have y is equal to negative 2x plus 5. The slope that I have is negative 2. The perpendicular slope would be positive 1/2. So to write an equation of a line that passes through, again, I'm going to use the point slope form of the equation of a line. So the point slope form of the equation of a line is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. The slope I want to use is the 1/2, and the line is 4 positive 12, so I'd say y minus 12, because that's the y value, equals positive 1/2 times x minus 4. This is a perfectly acceptable equation of a line. Now, only because I didn't do it in the last one, let's solve this one completely for y equals mx plus b, just in case they ever ask that. So I distribute the 1/2, y minus 12 equals 1/2 x minus 2, add 12, and I will get y is equal to 1/2 x plus 10. Remember, there are pros and cons to both. This form of the equation of line is a little bit easier for us to graph, both on graph paper and in our calculators. The last one gives us a rhombus labeled time. So let's first start by graphing. So let's always graph first. So T, I,
Can you go over
M, and E. So then I'll go through and connect our points to create our rhombus. Please try and use a straight edge if you have one. So it tells us that the equation of the line that goes through TM is negative 3x plus 5. Well, I know that the perpendicular diagonals, well, they're going to be perpendicular, so the slope of this line is negative 3. The perpendicular slope is positive 1/3. Now, I know this line is going to pass through E and I. That's the line we want. So I just have to choose one. So if I choose E, the equation is going to become y plus 3 is equal to 1/3 x plus 4. And again, it just says to determine an equation of lines, so that's good enough. You don't have to do anything else. If you really want to, you could distribute the 1/3 and subtract the 3 and get it equal to y, but you'll deal with a lot of fractions and it just becomes kind of messy. There's no need if it just asks you for the equation. Hopefully this video helped, and remember you have your benchmark exam tomorrow.